Electronics are everywhere, and it doesn't take long before cutting-edge technology like digital cell phones becomes something we can't remember ever living without. Yet this year's new thing will quickly be replaced and forgotten. Sadly, 82% of our electronic waste ends up in landfills, where the heavy metals and plastics can break down, leaching toxins into the environment. Not to mention all of the sensitive personal and financial information that can be pulled from discarded devices. Of the 17% of our e-waste that is recycled, the majority of it ends up being shipped overseas where regulations are lax, and it can either end up in landfills or dismantled cheaply. In other words, unsafely. So what does it take for our e-waste to be disposed of safely and properly? TechnoCycle in Houston, Texas, is an e-waste recycler certified under the R2 standard. Let's see how they do it. First, the surplus material is transported to TechnoCycle's facility in central Houston. Once unloaded, each pallet of surplus equipment is weighed. This weight is recorded, and each item is inventoried and given an asset tag. Each item's journey through TechnoCycle is recorded so that its final destination, and each step along the way, can be accounted for and tracked. All storage media is either shredded or undergoes an intensive data erasure procedure. TechnoCycle is compliant with NIST 888 guidelines for media destruction. TechnoCycle takes seriously their data liability and uses certified data erasure software, military grade, for wiping all traces of data from the hard drives. Deleting data by formatting or using a simple erasure process is not adequate. When required, the storage media is shredded. Shredding can be carried out on site at the client's location, or TechnoCycle can provide a lockbox for storage of the hard drives prior to collection and transportation. On the arrival at the facility, the box is unlocked by a designated TechnoCycle employee, and the hard drives are then shredded. The tagged equipment is then tested. Since computers and electronics are made up of many different components, working parts and systems are identified, and then tagged for reuse or refurbishment. Reusing working electronics helps preserve our natural resources by avoiding mining of virgin materials, and helps reduce the air and water pollution that is generated during manufacturing processes. Equipment that is non-functional or totally obsolete is marked for dismantling. Here, all circuit boards, batteries, and other components containing potentially hazardous materials are removed and sent to qualified domestic refineries to be further processed. Air quality and worker safety are carefully monitored in each dismantling area. Each item is safely disassembled into its basic components, like plastic, steel, aluminum, and other materials, which are sent to approved refineries. There they are melted down or reprocessed so they can flow back into the production chain. TechnoCycle manages all assets, weighing and tracking them to their final disposition. Reselling and finding new uses for end-of-life electronics can make technology accessible to those who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford it, as well as defray some of the costs of breaking down the raw materials for recycling. So just how much material does a facility like TechnoCycle process? In 2011 alone, they recycled over 100,000 unique items and kept 2.5 million pounds of equipment out of landfills.